became fearless. It was once only a small and vulnerable life. Deep beneath the ground, the tiny cub was still unable to protect itself. During its earliest days, every chance of survival depended entirely on its mother. But beyond the safety of the burrow, danger had already come dangerously close. A predator had detected the hidden shelter of the mother and her helpless cub. With her cub behind her, the mother could not simply choose to run away. The first example of courage the cub ever witnessed came from its own mother. When a shelter is exposed, courage must be guided by intelligence. Under the protection of darkness, the mother carried her cub away from the unsafe territory. Every new burrow offered only one more chance to survive another day. Beyond that light were food, freedom, and dangers the cub could not yet understand. Today, the tiny cub will take its first step into the lessons of survival. The scents beneath the soil would one day become the most important map it could follow. The mother was not simply finding food. She was teaching her cub how to read every hidden sign. Its sense of smell could guide the search, but experience revealed where digging was truly worthwhile. For the first time, the cub had discovered food through the effort of its own small paws. Curiosity could lead to food, but impatience could also bring pain. A small reward taught the cub that patience could transform failure into success. Seeing prey did not mean the young hunter was ready to catch it. Only careful observation could separate a fresh trail from one that had already faded. The cub had changed from a helpless observer into an animal capable of finding its own meal. But the next lesson would bring the young cub closer to pain and danger than ever before. The scent of honey had led the mother and cub toward a lesson filled with both reward and pain. To reach the food inside, they first had to endure the defenders guarding the hive. The first sting taught the young cub that food in the wild was never truly free. Courage did not mean feeling no pain. It meant continuing while the pain was still real. Behind the hard bark waited honey, larvae, and the precious energy needed to survive. Fear had not disappeared, but the cub no longer allowed it to force a complete retreat. Knowing when to stop was just as important as having the courage to move forward. Knowing when to stop was just as important as having the courage to move forward. Loose skin, fast reactions, and controlled movement helped the mother escape the dangerous strike. After months of learning, the distance between mother and youngster had begun to grow. The memories of earlier lessons allowed the youngster to correct its mistake before darkness completely arrived. Hunger forced it to hunt, but speed could not yet replace experience. The scent of food had attracted animals that were larger, faster, and more numerous than the young badger. Courage did not mean keeping everything at any cost. Sometimes survival required letting go. The claws that had once been weak and clumsy had now created the shelter that saved its life. Hunger drew the youngster closer, but experience warned it to inspect every possible approach. The prey escaped, but a far greater threat remained hidden beneath the rocks. The honey badger's courage did not begin with an attack, but with reading every movement of its opponent. This time the fangs reached the loose skin near its shoulder, and the struggle immediately became far more serious. Its natural resistance gave it more time, but it did not make the honey badger completely immune to venom. The paws that were once small and uncertain had become powerful tools capable of opening the earth. Strength allowed it to break through the ground, but experience taught it to take only what it needed. After nearly dying from venom, its courage had matured into the wisdom to choose which battles were worth fighting. Within a short time, its powerful forelegs could transform exposed ground into a secure refuge. In a land ruled by larger predators, a narrow underground shelter allowed the honey badger to survive another night. Loose protective skin, powerful claws, an exceptional sense of smell, a flexible diet, and relentless endurance had created an extraordinary survivor. The honey badger is not courageous because it feels no fear. It is courageous because after pain, failure, and